Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we got to talk about some real drama today. Woo! We got a lot to talk about, okay? Before we get into we're going to talk about some petty drama and then we're going to talk about the real drama, okay? So before we get into the petty drama, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, like this video if you like reality TV related content, okay? And be sure to go ahead and get my book on Amazon.com. It is out right now. You can order the Kindle copy, the hard copy, and the paperback copy as well. So go ahead and get it while it's HOT. And y'all, we got 5 spots left for Bali. Be sure to tap in if you want to get your spot to travel to Bali with us. Now let's get down to the Tis Not E, baby. So remember yesterday when we talked about the cast of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the new cast, like the new girls, you know what I'm saying? And I was wondering to myself, I was like, I wonder who's gonna be that breakout that really kind of like, pops out. I think we might got our answer. Okay. And Britt Edie. All right. Britt Edie. All right. Our real estate superstar. I think she's into real estate from what I can. Let me look back at the Instagram page, baby. Let me look back at that Instagram. Let me look back at it. Okay. I think she made the Forbes 30 under 30. So, I mean, oh no, she's an insurance expert. Boom. That's it. Insurance, not real estate. I stand corrected. Insurance, baby. So listen, insurance is lucrative. Let me tell y'all that. I got my insurance license when I was in Los Angeles. I wish I had kept that bad boy. So anyway, let's get back into the Biznae. So what's she saying, right? We know that filming has started. If you look at Portia's Instagram, you will see that this is the first day of filming for her. But let's talk about Britt real quick. And let's get into what she got to say. Now, it's a little petty. It's a little petty Betty, but I just want to, give y'all a taste of what Miss Britt, and I can't play it all because it's got some music in the background.
We want to see them scalps this season, okay? Let us know you got edges. We want to see them edges.
Okay. See? She already at it. She talking about we want to see them scalps this season, okay? Listen. I think she is going to be a fire starter. I think she is going to get the party started. I think she's here just having fun. I think it's shade only if applicable to you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, let's go. I mean, Kenya Moore got the hair care products and we know Kenya got the edges. Portia's got the go naked hair. You know what I'm saying? But they always talking about snatching edges and whatnot. I believe Eva and Marlo got into it over some edges, I think. So, I mean, there's a lot of edging to go around here. Pause. Okay, pause. All right. Anyway, I kind of feel like I like the energy she's giving. This is what I want my shows to be about. Fun, petty, laugh out loud drama that don't feel too serious. I mean, she's giving youthful energy right here. But it looks like based on her Instagram that she has, she could talk that talk, and it looks like she can also walk that walk, Miss 30 under 30. Okay, that's some stuff right there. So next, just a little bit of more tea for y'all, just to satisfy your appetites for those of you guys who have been fiending for the Real Housewives of Atlanta tea like I have. Portia lets us know that she is en route. Portia is en route, and it is the first day of filming, baby. Wonder where she is headed to. What y'all think? Where y'all think she going? She letting us know. I'm not mad at them letting us know because I feel like it allows us to get excited again. For so long, I feel like we have been just kind of like without Real Housewives of Atlanta tea, and now the tea runneth all over, and it drippeth in our laps, and I'm lapping every little bit of it up because I like to have fun. And listen, y'all, before y'all get to be too, this, that, and the third, and getting all crazy in the comments, just have fun with this. You know what I'm saying? Let the rest of us who love this stuff, let us have fun with it. Okay. So now let's talk about the Carlos King podcast interview with Melody Cherie, as well as with Sonny and Moses. Carlos King premiered this on his YouTube channel yesterday. And I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I honestly, with promoting the book, going to Good Day DC, doing the Lion Lunch Hour, I am now trying to build up my Snapchat. If y'all are on Snapchat, listen, baby, if you are on the Snapchat, go ahead and add me to your Snapchat, DJRichieSkye. I'm over there trying to grow that thing. And I got all these things I got to do. Then I got all these things I got to do on the TikTok. I honestly just need to hire a social media manager at this point because I'm trying to do all of the things to maximize all of the aspects of what we do here. So your boy has been busy, okay? So I finally just now finished watching the clip from the entire podcast. Now, just so you know, the entire DC podcast will be available to us very soon as well, which is why I'm not talking about that as of yet either. But once that comes out, then we can actually talk about it because I was there, so I know, right? And then I think he'll also release the tour stop in Atlanta as well. All right, so we have that to talk about. We got some things coming up that we can talk about, okay? Shout out to Carlos for, at least giving us something fresh to talk about. It's not a lot of shows on. I have not had a chance to watch Jersey yet. It has just been a very, very busy week. We will also be launching an audio portion of the DJRichieSkye podcast very, very soon. So you guys can actually listen and it'll be different, a little bit different from what we do here. So you may want to tune in here and you may want to tune in there. We got a lot of stuff coming for y'all. Okay. So anyway, let's get into what Melody had to say. All right. So one of the first things, and then I'm just going to kind of go through some highlights that I made notes on. And this was the part I saw yesterday that I really wanted to kind of get into. But again, I wanted to watch the entire thing. And I just now finished that. But, when asked about Melody's thoughts about Martell speaking out about, remember back when he had posted, I think, was it under Carlos King's post? And he had talked about, being basically begged by either Carlos or production to bring Melody flowers during that scene at the end of last season where he met up with her at, I think, a coffee shop or something like that. And then he basically called himself an actor. For me, at that point in time, that would have been an immediate termination for me if one of my cast members on a show that I am producing were to say that to me on a public platform. Because what you cannot do is you cannot disrupt the integrity of the show because of how you feel, right? Especially when your name is listed as a producer and you are a current cast member of said show, right? To me, that is a fireable offense, and that's just how I feel. Because no one is going to do that to something that we put our blood, sweat, and tears into, that we all put our blood, sweat, and tears into. And it discredits everybody on the show. It not only discredits everybody on the show, it discredits the production, it discredits the network, and it discredits the producers. It discredits everybody, the talent included. So for me, that would have been an immediate firing. I'm not even going to hold y'all. Like, that's just, how can I run a business when I got employees or contractors running around basically disparaging the network? And typically, a lot of times, networks will have non-disparagement clauses. So it's like, I don't know if that's what they have, but all I know is that that is sometimes the case. So for me, it would have been a fireable offense. And apparently, Mel feels the same way. She basically said he would have had to go. He would have had to go. And her reasons were the same as mine. And, Carlos did speak out about how angry he was about it and how basically he echoed the sentiments that I just basically stated and that I stated back then when it came out. Because I just feel like everybody works too hard. And a lot of us out here who are creating content surrounding the shows, it just makes it seem for everybody like now we got to look at everything that we see with a side eye. We had a feeling that the whole charade of it all was a bit of an act, so to speak. But there's definitely aspects of this show that are steeped in real drama that oftentimes feels very, very dark for the type of television that I want to be recapping, to be quite honest with you. Okay, and we'll get into that in just a bit. Now, Melody talks about, they get into talking about the allegations for which he was arrested, right? So this was DV and harassing communications. Now, peep this out. So I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm also going to pull up something from our friends over at Urban Bell Magazine. Okay, so Urban Bell Magazine is basically reporting that Martell was actually convicted of DV and harassing communications against Melody Cherie. Now, according to the court documents that they have, basically on May 2nd, and I was provided this information as well yesterday. Okay. Let me pull up my text thread. Um, yes, I was provided with this information yesterday. You can actually check Rocket City now. But essentially, for what Urban Bell Magazine is saying, that, and according to these court documents, that he was convicted on May 2nd, given a 30-day suspended jail sentence, 12 months of supervised probation, and fined over $500. And they say that he is also required to not have any contact with Melody. All right. Now, just to give you the other side of that, Martel has appealed the ruling and is out on bond pending the appeal. All right. Now, to take things back, just so you guys know, in January, he was arrested on a warrant for DV harassing communications, right? Melody had claimed that she had obtained the warrant back in, I think, August of 2023, which we'll talk about in just a second. All right. Now, we also know that, as Urban Bell Mag points out, Martell's paramour had revealed a plot to use. Well, there was a plot that was revealed, basically, and Melody talked about it on the show, that there was a plot to release this explicit video featuring Melody on social media. And that also is what Martell, I believe, was referencing when he said he also sent her a picture. And he said this on the show, right? So all of these things are documented, FYI, right? So with that being said, all right, and this is also available on, I think it's rocketcitynow.com. The links will be in the description down below. And like I said, he will appeal it, okay? And that's basically what we know now. He has appealed that decision based on this court document here from Rocket City Now. But I also have to wonder, like, why didn't we hear about this on May the 2nd? Like, this is what, the 15th? I guess the news like that don't really make it out like that. Anyway, let's get into the idea that he is ordered to have no contact with Melody, okay? Now, granted, he immediately filed an appeal and asked for a jury trial, and he remains out on bond pending his appeal. Let's talk about this, because there's something in here that Melody mentioned. Okay, no, actually, Carlos mentioned in his podcast that on set, when they made sure that when Melody was filming, that she had security. So now, when I think about it like this, number one, you can't even have contact with you. He can't have contact with Melody, right? Carlos is now having to hire security. This was basically mentioned in the podcast. This person has also, to a certain degree, he has basically called out, Carlos and production at this point. He has basically also said that he is an actor. Everything that I have just mentioned has been documented. So for me, I just personally feel like the only course of action is to remove him as a cast member from this show. Listen, I don't want nobody to be not paid. I want everybody to be gainfully employed. But I also believe what she said. Like, how is it that we are going to continue to fund this? She said this in the podcast. She was like, why are we continue? She said, she asked the question, when do we stop funding the madness? She says she has not been doing interviews, and she's not out here thinking of ways to talk bad about anybody. And she has talked to the own therapist, because a lot of you guys may not know this, but typically when you do a reality TV show, there is a therapist that you can speak to. And typically that is one of the ways, if you need to get out of filming, that you can get out of filming if you need to see said therapist. But that differs, I think, from show to show, but usually there is a therapist that is available to you. I can attest to that myself, right? Okay. And that's when, at that point in time, her and Carlos talk about, anytime she had a scene, that they had security there for her. Now, if we got to go through all this, like, this to me is what is making the show very difficult for me as a viewer to enjoy. And I feel like this is why there are also plenty of fans that are also in an uproar about this situation. Now, listen, at the end of the day, I feel I am so sorry that the two of these people cannot work out, okay? All the things that they need to work out. But there are actions that I feel like Martell continues to take that I think he needs to understand that these aren't things you can do and still maintain a presence on television, because now we have got to now have this security in place for protection, because a cast member who is valuable on the show does not feel safe. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And so as a viewer, it becomes difficult to not only watch, digest, but also recap, right? It's a situation that I feel like I have literally been battling in my mind. And it was a lesson that I feel like I should have learned with Potomac, right? For me, I should have learned with Potomac that when it began to feel like, and I noticed this when I took a break. And so maybe that's what I need. I don't really know. But what I noticed was when I took a break for vacation, I didn't watch Potomac. And when I came back to it, I kind of felt a fresh, renewed energy with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I also realized, looking back at it, that I should have stopped watching Potomac earlier this season when I realized the shrining of it all. And when I realized that it was going to be more of the same behaviors that I have been previously talking about in previous seasons. So for me, this whole situation forces me to ask myself the question, can I continue to watch it when I know all of this is going on? Because at this point, for me, it doesn't feel like entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It goes to a place where I don't know. I really don't know. And I think in order for this show to progress, there was something that Melody said: we need to get back to business, right? Because yes, we love the drama, but there has to be a limit to where the drama goes. And I think that's just it for me. For me, your boundary may be different from mine, but I'm just telling you what I'm starting to feel with mine. Okay, and I'm just being honest here. Anyway, um, a poignant thing that Melody said was that her brother said that he bets that if Martell would have came and apologized, she said that he said, I bet you would have forgiven him. And she talks about that she may have. And that also just lets me know, like, bro, you have got to stop going so low. You got to stop going so low. Like, I feel like the audience, your friends on the show, everyone is trying to give you pointers for which road to begin to take. And it keeps being ignored. All right. And it just feels like, how long are you, if you like you, there's got to be an end for you. There's got to be an end, and none of this has taught you anything. Now you're dealing with the system. So it's kind of, it's very, very frustrating to continue to watch this cycle play out. And I want to see something different. I need to see something different, next season, or the rest of this season. I don't know how that's going to work, but it's something I need to see for me to really be able to really enjoy the show the way that I want to enjoy it. Melody talked about how after praying about the situation and talking to God about the situation, she said that she was going to let God handle it, with the people, in terms of the warrant and, whether or not she wanted to have a PI go after him or whatnot. And she said she was going to let it happen in God's time. And she talked about how, she had a conversation with Carlos about, prayer and God's timing. And then it happened when she was preparing the film. Now, let's talk about Sonny and Moses, okay? I have talked about that subject as much as I can talk about it today, okay? I told you guys what I think the issue is, what I think needs to be done about it. I ain't trying to take food out of nobody's mouth, but at the end of the day, if we're talking about what I'm able to enjoy and what I'm not enjoying, I laid it out for you, okay? Next, it's time for Sonny and Moses to come out, right? Sonny is a bold, and this was the unedited version, okay? Sonny is a very, 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 very bold person, all right? And I'm just gonna call it that, because Sonny, and I think Melody put it very interestingly as well, because I felt the same about Sonny, is there was a lot of sort of very that felt like a lot of y'all got a problem with me calling with people calling women aggressive. So we're not gonna say aggressive, okay? We're gonna say there was a lot of energy. All right, I hope that's a better term. There was a lot of energy that seemed to be directed in Destiny's direction for somebody who ended up with the man. So and I think Melody called it out perfectly. I was kind of like, you have a lot of energy. I mean, Destiny was the one who was hurt in all this. And so if you can't understand why she was hurt, then I feel like that's something that you're missing. You know what I'm saying? But if you are looking at it from the standpoint of well, I got the man, why aren't you happy yet? Anyway, she comes out flaunting the ring, baby. The ring don't mean a thing. All right. Anyway, Carlos like, man, why wasn't you at the reunion? And he says he was transitioning to a new business venture. It was $1 million deal he couldn't get out of. He is quick. Both Sonny and Moses are quick to let us know that they are both millionaires. And I'm like, yes, for the millionaires. I mean, I guess maybe this is what we need to be seeing on Love and Marriage Huntsville is more. Let's give it up for the millions, baby. I want to see the millionaires, and I want to see millionaire lifestyles too to go along with it. So if y'all talking millions, I'm gonna need to see $1 million homes, $1 million cars, or $1 million trips and such. I need to see it all. I mean, I want to see the jets. I want to see the Airstreams. I want to see all the things. You know what I'm saying? So show me the diamonds, baby. Show me the diamonds, the Diamondels. Show it all to me. I want to see the Lux lifestyle so I can dream about living it myself. Okay. Anyway, so Sonny then yanks the mic and is like, long story short, you show up for the ones you need to show up for. And I'm like, you just got here. I mean, for real, I get it. You can talk, you can definitely talk that talk, because at the end of the day, y'all did get married. But I mean, that was very quick. I mean, that was a short while ago. Okay. I mean, you talk about Destiny having this 15-year thing with him and him dogging her out for 15 years with him sitting right there smiling, chuckling. And I'm like, bro, she's talking about you? You still in the room, right? Anyway, as Carlos then makes Melody the co-host, and she has questions too. And Carlos points out though that the talent tells producers all their business. And I told y'all this. I went through this. A lot of y'all, I feel like, really just don't like Destiny, because I don't see how some of y'all just don't see where in the producer has a little bit of an unfair advantage over the talent in this instance, because they do know all the talent's tea. So whether or not Sonny felt like she was her friend or not, you are still in a position of power with someone, and there is a relationship there, whether you call it a friendship or not. There is a relationship of trust. Okay. And I feel like that's the point that Sonny seems to be missing out on. And she seems to be willfully obtuse about it, because to ignore it is almost like, girl, you're not going to gaslight me into not thinking that you have no obligations to this woman. Now, granted, does that mean that you couldn't therefore date somebody that she's dating afterwards? I mean, I don't know. But it could have been a situation where you said, hey, girl, listen, girl, I've been looking at Moses and he looking kind of good. Where y'all stand right now? Because he telling me y'all ain't done. He's telling me y'all been done. What say you? Okay. Call me back, girl. Call me now. Call me now. And Miss Cleo style. All right. And I guess she did once they got together, but I felt like, you might have want to told her earlier, because you was obviously around this man when you booked Melody and, Destiny to go to perform ahead of Monica. I don't know who was, I guess Melody was performing and maybe Destiny went along with her. I don't really know. But so you did a booking. Okay. So, and Moses was there and you were there. So it's like, y'all can't be like, y'all just met on your own. And Sonny's like, well, I didn't even look at him then. And Carlos is like, well, it's not like Moses is a bad looking guy. So how would you not see him? She's like, well, I was just about my business. I'm a millionaire. Okay. Oh, she is quick to let us know. She has got the millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon millions upon Bezos style even, I think, maybe. I don't know, allegedly. Anyway, so at this point, Sonny says, let's be clear. Destiny is no longer on the show because she didn't have anything to talk about. When she would try to fight for her in meetings, when Sonny would try to fight for her in meetings, she says that Destiny would never talk about things going on with him. He was top secret. She was only talking about things going on with her ex and with Mel. See, here's the problem with that for Sonny is that Destiny really didn't do a lot of talking on camera about her ex because I don't think she could, based on what we have heard her say in previous interviews. So if that was all she had to talk about, then also I have to wonder then, as a producer for her, what were you asking her, right? Because here's the thing. I felt like a great producer is going to be able to pull things out of you. I know mine was. There were things that I didn't want to talk about. There were things that, she dug into the nooks and crannies of my life. I used to hate sitting down for interviews with her because it would be 3-4 hours of nonstop questioning, and she would get to the root of whatever my issue was. So that to me goes a long way towards saying how well my producer produced me. And so I have to also wonder, because there's a symbiotic relationship. If you say that somebody has nothing going on, then to me, everybody's interested. But it really just does matter what you can actually show in the 42 minutes of an episode, wherein you have an ensemble cast, right? Are you pulling the best parts of her out? And that's part producer and that's part Destiny. I'm going to be real with you guys. I know a lot of you won't want to hear it, but that's how it works, okay? Now, and there is the case where if you have a bunch of stuff going on, a great example of that would be like a Lisa Vanderpump, who's, has restaurants and, all the things. And she's always got something going on, always private events, a sudden strack. You know what I'm saying? Look at Melody. Melody's a good example. Always got something going on. Got the shows going on. I'm selling out, events. I'm doing this, that, and the third. You look at the Scotts. We got things going on to the Black. We got things going on with the real estate. We got things going on here. Boom, there are people on that show with a lot going on. Look at Sunny, down to the TikTok, selling out on TikTok. Down to the, to the magazines and doing all the things, and at the warehouse, building up the warehouse, rolling around in the warehouse, okay? And rolling down the hill with the ponies. You know what I'm saying? She got a driveway, got the ponies, got the cows, got the zebras, got the chickens, got the roosters, got all the things. So, maybe in context, maybe she didn't. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't know. I'm not down there. Okay. Anyway, Sonny claims that people are quick to say friends and women are so quick to blame the other women, but no, but blame the man who broke their heart. Now, I'm kind of inclined to almost agree with her to a certain degree, right? Mel says, well, wait, when you brought me and Destiny up to open up for Monica, we had just wrapped the season. Was y'all two already talking then? They say no. Sonny was there. Moses was there. But Sonny says she made it happen because she's about her business, okay? And Mel is like, well, that does sound kind of like a friend if you booking people for shows. And Sonny's like, well, was I your friend? Mel is like, well, okay, no, not really, but we know each other or whatever like that. So Moses starts talking and stuttering about how, he would, he got her number in July and he's friends with Sonny's cousin. And that's where Destiny got the cousin thing from. And apparently Sonny saw Moses at a family thing. I don't really know. It's very convoluted to me. Apparently him and Destiny never really broke up. And, as Sonny tries to respond, Carlos is like, no, I want Moses to respond because you're a producer. I was like, yes, Carlos, thank you. Moses says he hasn't seen Destiny since January 3rd of 2023, and she was traveling and going to award shows and trying to do entertainment and trying to do all the things that she needed to do to make her a living, baby. Mel is like, well, didn't you want to go? Moses says, well, she didn't come see me enough. It was long distance, and she wasn't consistent with being the woman that I needed, aka Sunny. Okay. So anyway, he and Destiny apparently never had a breakup conversation, but he knows that Destiny was going through things and was unstable. And Sunny says that Destiny was using Moses for a storyline. I'm like, girl, well, how would you know? You said she didn't talk about him. You was not even there. So you said you was gone a year before that. So how do you know she was using the man for a storyline if you weren't there? No, if you was no longer there. Okay. How would he tell you that? So then he makes it seem like, yes, she was using me for a storyline and I was okay with it because I'm a good-hearted guy. You sure sound like it. So then Sunny, oh, wait. Sunny says, y'all give all these men too many years. He played with her for 15 years. I'm a wife. And now it's a different conversation. She says, this is high school stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm really giving this a side eye. Because later Sunny will say that the man had an ex-wife. The man apparently had another wife for 17 years. So basically, if Destiny was friends with him for the last 15 years, then she calls Destiny a side chick from day one, if based on the timeline that Destiny is saying. And I'm like, Moses, you gonna just sit here and let her call you a cheater, pumpkin eater in front of this crowd and think that it's the big ups that you think it is? Is that what you're gonna let her do? And you, Sunny, you now are saying that, yeah, I know my husband was a cheater for 17 years, maybe, I don't know, possibly, allegedly, who knows, but I'm with him now and I'm the wife and I'm gonna make it stop. Okay. He played with Destiny for 17 years. Then she's like, he just got divorced in 2019. So when basically, she was like, Destiny was the side chick. And she's like, when I met Moses, this was the part that just tripped me out. She says, when I met Moses, he was dating other women and it was a whole other chick thinking she was the main girl. And Moses is just laughing. So you came into the picture while he was with a whole nother girl who thought she was the main girl. So you came in from the side, jumped in front of, and became the main, while the side, where's she at? Does she even know now? Because he don't like to have conversation when he break up with people. Does she know that did she just find out on TV? Did you make sure that? I really don't know how that whole thing went down. That's the story that I feel like I need to hear. Bring her on to the show next, okay? Where's she at? Is she in St. Louis or is she in Alabama? Somebody let me know. Meanwhile, Moses just sitting there laughing. I'm like, bro, she's talking about you, right? Hello. She's talking about you, man. Anyway, Mel is like, I feel a lot of anger coming from you about Destiny. And to be quite frank with you, she's not here to defend herself. So, even though me and Destiny ain't got nothing at this point in time, I feel like she's not here and you got a lot of anger. Maybe you need to talk to her about it. Or maybe a therapist. That was me adding it in. Anyway, but can we get back to talking about me? Now, are y'all coming on the show? Is that what's going on here? Is that what y'all doing? Like, tell me about your marriage. Like, y'all, all this anger for Destiny, you talk about y'all. Like, what's going on with y'all? Carlos is like, how is the marriage? Moses is like, great. Carlos is like, okay, thank you. But that's all, folks. And then he wrapped up on them. It was good. Then he followed up with asking Melody some more, questions that were from the audience. It was actually really, really good. So if you get a chance to watch it, I think it definitely gives you more insight into Sunny and Moses than the episode did. And I think it also gives you more insight into Melody's thought process as she went through all of the stuff that she was going through with Martel. And I just feel like it is time for all of this to stop. Like, because it is basically taking away from, I feel like, the viewer experience from the show. And I know that for some people it may be juicy, but I'm much more interested in talking about the Sunny Moses destiny of it all. because I think that's a little bit more of a layered conversation that doesn't feel as dark. And I just got to be real with y'all. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. It was a great podcast interview. Definitely go and watch it. Check it out for yourself so you can see and hear for yourself if you haven't already done so. All links will be in the description down below. Okay? Okay? So with that being said, y'all, I am going to get back to my other work and driving myself crazy creating content on other platforms. So be sure to follow me on the TikTok. Be sure to follow me on the Snapchat. Be sure to follow me on the Instagram. We're going to Bali in September. We got 5 more spots and 5 only, okay? And be sure to get my new book on Amazon.com, The Wickedest Wives, Book 2, A Vicious Reality, and leave me a review, okay? Let me know how much you liked it, who you like, who you think is the real villain after reading this book. That's what I really want to know. Who is the real villain? And if you've already read it, chime down in the chatterization and let me know who you think is the real villain in this book. With that being said, your boy is feeling hoarse and I got to go and do these other things. So follow me. All right? Out.